Welcome to Twisted Peach Residential.
Here we are,
We're
again.
with a brand new look. We have a table.
We have a table, and we have information.
Lots of information coming at you. All right, April, I've got a question for you. It's the end of July. Summer is sadly almost over. What does the real estate market look like?
Oh, the real estate looks happier than my face. I'm sad about summer.
I hope so.
The real estate market is very different than it was last summer. Last summer, it came to a halt because the interest rates started going up and buyers put the brakes on. This summer, it's been very active, very go, 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 go. Not enough inventory truly for what the buyer demands are. We have a lot of relocations coming into the area in Georgia just because of the different industries that are expanding in our area. And the prices, they have come down since last year, the sales prices, which is great. The interest rates are higher, so it's just kind of an interesting market to watch. You'll have some homes that sit on the market for a lot longer because they're not in really kind of like that pristine condition that most buyers are looking for. 95% of your buyers have a certain look they're going for. So if you find a home that's been sitting for a minute, you will actually have some negotiation power, which you didn't have in the last couple of years when we had the multiple offer craziness going on. However, if you're looking at a home that all the other buyers want to because condition is actually really good, or they did the remodeling that warrants it, or it's priced just below market value, so the value is there, that's where you run into the multiple offer situation. The difference is that instead of going like 50 grand over, every once in a while you'll find one of those here and there, but it's not normal. So now we're just talking a lot less money. And yes, there's some appraisal gaps in there too, but we're just talking a little less intense than what it used to be. It used to be a whole different game, like a rodeo. Woo!
So a little bit more balance.
Yes, much more balance.
Okay, especially if a house is priced right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if it's not priced right, it'll sit. If it is priced right, it'll go. And then there are some homes that just kind of sit for a minute because they're not meeting all the buyers' demands that 95% of buyers are looking for.
All right, so you said that there's a little bit more negotiation, a little more balance.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that could involve closing costs?
Yes.
Like maybe a little bit of help with closing costs?
Mm-hmm.
All right, tell me about that.
Yeah, exactly. Closing costs. A lot of people think it's a ton of money that's getting paid to a lender, or a ton of money that's getting paid to an agent, or a ton of money that's getting paid to an attorney, and that's really not the case. So closing costs for a buyer is paying their lender for what they do, but it ends up not being nearly as much as what you think it is. Then paying for the recording fees, which are minimal. Sometimes they're like $85, sometimes it's like $125 to have your deed actually filed with the county. You have your title insurance that you need to buy as a homeowner, so that way you are protected if there's anything faulty in the title in the past. You are protected so you can resell your property, so it's actually an asset to you. That tends to be, it's a certain amount of money, so a couple thousand, right, give or take, something like that. And here's my cheat sheet. And from there, you also have your escrow, and that's really what takes up the majority of your closing costs. That big old chunk that you see when you break it down, that is paying your homeowner's insurance for the year and to where it's due, plus the property taxes, making sure those are covered in with your loan payment, so that way you're not having to worry about that throughout the year.
So, would you pay those every year no matter what?
Yeah, those have to be paid regardless. Yeah. You can choose to not have them tied into your loan, but that means you assume the responsibility, and it still comes out at closing because the attorney then sends it off for the year to the places it needs to go, whether it's your insurance or your property taxes.
Are there any other like weird taxes or fees?
There are. It's transfer taxes. Typically, it's like a 1%. No, it's a 0.01%. I don't know what that is in math.
Well, a percent is per 100. So we got that far.
Oh no. We'll write it on the board, and then you can see what I'm talking about of the sales price. So you have that amount that actually gets tacked onto the buyers, and so that's the property tax. That's a different tax that the buyer has to pay other than your property tax.
Like to the state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've heard something about PMI. Break that down.
PMI. PMI, it stands for...
I know.
What?
Private mortgage insurance.
I hope you're right.
I think I'm right. We made a video about this a long time ago.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, reference the video.
because we forgot. It's an insurance you pay on your mortgage to cover it. Anytime you owe over 80% of the value of the house.
Yeah. It might be personal mortgage insurance.
It could be personal mortgage insurance.
What did I say first?
Private?
Private, both personal. Sound okay.
Ish. Yeah,
but at any rate, so what it means is, let's pretend like you had $100,000 loan, or I'm sorry, your house was worth $100. I'll do the math. Let's say your house is worth $100, and if you only finance $70,000,
yeah, you'll have no
you don't
PMI.
have PMI.
Yeah.
But if you finance $90,000, or actually $80,000 would be the cutoff because that's 80%.
Exactly.
So $80,000 or higher on that $100,000 house, then you got to have PMI.
Where did you find this $100,000 house? And is it livable?
Oh, they're everywhere. Haven't you heard? Final bonus round. What else is included?
So the attorneys have their fees for running title. The seller is responsible for the charges related to the title, but you have your own fee there because you're working with the attorney. They draw up the paperwork. They actually represent the lender in the process, so they have to reconcile that package that comes from the lender and everything that they have, and it has to match. So they do a lot of work there on the buyer's behalf, so they get paid for that part. And It's not a crazy amount. It's not like thousands and thousands of dollars. When you break it down, you're like, oh, really, that's not a lot. So it all comes down to escrow pretty much is what actually eats up most of your closing costs.
No, which makes sense because obviously the more you're paying for a house, the higher your closing costs.
Yeah.
But that's because your taxes and your escrow, or your taxes and your insurance, which is escrow, get bigger or smaller with the value of the house.
And then you have like the more standard fees, like recording at the courthouse, your just other little fees, like the attorney fees are pretty standard. All the lender's fees are standard, so you have all these fees that are just standard, like your fixed fees in essence that just aren't that big.
Okay, quick tips for buyers.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Don't think, just go.
Tip number 1, create an email on Gmail, created only for all your home buying things. So that's the email you use for your lender, for the attorney, for all your home searches, that one email. Please use 2-factor authentication so nobody can hack it, because scammers love to get in there.
Oh, you mean like an email account?
Like an email account called My Home Buying something something.
Well, that's probably going to be taken.
No. That's too scammer-ific. No. Just make it some random thing like I like chocolate chips or something at gmail.com. And that would be your home buying email that you get all your home buying stuff towards. So then you don't have to like skedaddle through all your junk mail and everything else and like freak out if you're going to miss a lender one. You just look at that one email every day when you're buying a home.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I got that from one of my clients.
I love that. Hey, and even a better idea, if you think of some cool email address names, put them in the comments. If you have any questions about real estate, or if you're looking to buy, sell, or otherwise engage in a real estate transaction,
that's a good way to put that. You can call me or Kelly Sparks.
Kelly Sparks.
Can't wait to get her in here.
No pressure, Kelly, but it's going to happen.